Senator Anti.
Thank you, Madam Acting Deputy President. Politics is not for the faint of heart. We in this chamber are no strangers to criticism, be it criticism from the public or criticism from the media. There's nothing wrong with the eye of constructive scrutiny descending upon any one of us, though, I should say. And the member for Boothby in the other place is an incredibly hard-working Member of Parliament and a passionate advocate for her local community. She's strong-willed and not someone who shies away from constructive criticism. During last year's federal election campaign, she showed that she was strong. She was subjected to sexual harassment, stalked, and her electorate and campaign officers were vandalised with vicious slurs. She received little protection, but she forged on. When she appeared on ABC's Q&A program post-election, former journalist Mike Carlton live-tweeted that another guest, singer Jimmy Barnes, showed great restraint by not leaping across his seat and strangling her. Sadly, the personal attacks didn't end there. Peter Gers, for those who haven't heard of him, is the host of an ABC radio show in Adelaide and evenings. He also works as a columnist in the Sunday Mail in South Australia, and I don't tune in to his show. I also rarely read his columns. However, on the 26th of June, Mr Gers wrote an appalling article in the Sunday Mail critiquing the way the member for Boothby looks when he wrote, "Nicole wears pearl earrings and a pearly smile. She favours a vast wardrobe of blazers, coats and tight black ankle-freezing trousers and stiletto heels. She presents herself in her own newsletter 23 times as a fashion plate. She has blazers and coats in black, blue, pink, red, beige, green, white, cream, floral and 2 in grey." His weekly column has proven to be largely a rehash of things which irritate him, a bit like Peter Griffin in Family Guy when he starred in a TV show called What Really Grinds My Gears. And while Mr Gers' comments were published in a News Limited newspaper and didn't feature on an ABC publication, one would expect that the ABC as his employer would be extremely uncomfortable with those comments and how they reflect upon the taxpayer-funded national broadcaster. After all, the ABC touts their editorial guidelines in the form of their external work and editorial conflicts, which states at clause 1.4, external activities of individuals undertaking work for the ABC must not undermine the independence and integrity of the ABC's editorial content. And further, the ABC editorial style guide warns employees not to make gratuitous references to a woman's physical appearance if you wouldn't do the same for a man. Furthermore, the comments offend the spirit of the ABC's code of practice, which highlights that the content should be respectful towards audiences and mindful of community standards in areas like harm and offence. So I wonder whether or not the ABC considers these comments were in keeping with community standards. After all, the ABC board is well stocked with women. Chair Ita Buttrose is a founding member and former president of Chief Executive Women. The Deputy Chair, Dr Kirsten Ferguson, is the ex-director of She Starts and Women's Agenda Leadership Awards, and board member Donnie Walford is a member of the International Women's Forum Australia. So where was the fierce defence of a fellow female under attack from the broader sisterhood? Once again, there was none. Nothing but crickets. Nothing but a figurative tumbleweed rolling down the airwaves. Nothing more than a metaphoric wolf howling in the distance. But who's surprised? As we know, there are one set of rules for Conservatives and another set of rules for the left. So on the 31st of July, I wrote to Ita Buttrose, the chair of the ABC, to express my disappointment regarding Mr Gers' article and to ask her what action she was planning to take, and I await a response. The standard you walk past is the standard you accept, and surely our national broadcaster wouldn't ignore this behaviour. Surely this is not the standard our national broadcaster is willing to accept. So all I can say is, over to you, Ita.